They weren't born free. But in the arena, survival could make them legends. Follow Arena of Ages, where history's fiercest warriors fight again. Who were the gladiators? When we imagine gladiators, we often see fearless fighters charging into the Colosseum, but their reality was far more complex. Most gladiators were slaves, prisoners of war, or criminals condemned to fight. For them, the arena was not a choice, it was a sentence. Yet not all gladiators were forced. Some free men, hungry for wealth, adventure, or fame, volunteered. They gave up their freedom to enter the ludus, the gladiator school. Once they stepped inside, their lives were no longer their own. Life in the ludus. The ludus was a mix of barracks, training ground, and prison. Gladiators lived under strict discipline, constantly watched by their lanista, the manager and trainer. Escape was nearly impossible, and disobedience meant brutal punishment. But inside those walls, they trained like elite athletes. Their lives depended on it. Each day began with drills, footwork, balance, shield work, and weapon handling. Wooden swords, deliberately heavier than real steel, built muscle and endurance. By the time a gladiator fought with iron, his arms were already conditioned for power. The schools of combat. Gladiators weren't all the same. Each was trained for a specific style of combat, chosen by the lanista. The Murmillo fought with a large rectangular shield and short sword, wearing a heavy helmet with a fish-shaped crest. The Thraex carried a curved blade and small shield, moving fast and striking at angles. The Retiarius fought with almost no armor at all, armed with a trident and weighted net, relying on speed and precision. The Secutor, often paired against the Retiarius, wore a smooth, rounded helmet and heavy shield, designed to counter the net-and-trident. The Hoplomachus wielded a spear and small round shield, echoing the style of Greek hoplites. Each style was taught with precision, drilled endlessly until the fighter became not just skilled, but a living weapon designed to thrill the Roman crowds. Diet and conditioning. Survival wasn't just about weapons, it was about endurance. Gladiators followed a unique diet high in barley and beans, which gave them bulk and stamina. Ancient accounts even mention they consumed a tonic made from plant ash to strengthen their bodies after combat. Contrary to modern depictions of lean, chiseled warriors, many gladiators were bulkier. Extra fat protected vital organs from shallow cuts, allowing them to survive longer in the arena. In this way, their very bodies were trained as armor. Discipline and drills. A gladiator's day was strict. Morning drills might focus on shield walls and formation practice, afternoons on individual combat techniques. Sparring matches were constant, overseen by instructors who demanded perfection. Every strike, every block, every feint had to be second nature. In the arena, hesitation meant death. The arena. All training led to one place, the arena. In smaller towns, it might be a modest amphitheater, but in Rome, the Colosseum itself could seat up to 50,000 spectators, all roaring for blood. The atmosphere was electric, trumpets sounded, fighters entered, greeted by the crowd, their fates often sealed before combat began. Some matches were duels of skill, meant to entertain with strategy and endurance. Others were brutal exhibitions, one man against several, or even against wild beasts. Life or death often depended on the crowd. A defeated gladiator who fought bravely might be spared. One who disappointed could be condemned with a simple gesture. The price of glory. Despite their low status, gladiators could achieve incredible fame. Their names became known across Rome, their faces painted on walls, their victories sung in the streets. Some earned their freedom, given a wooden sword called the ludus, symbolizing release from combat. But even for those who survived, freedom was rare. The average career was short, the risks immense. Gladiators lived knowing that every fight might be their last. Legacy. The gladiators were not just warriors, they were performers, athletes, and symbols of Rome's power. Their training was relentless, their discipline absolute, and their battles unforgettable. In the end, the arena was more than blood and sand. It was a stage where men became legends, not by choice but by survival. The gladiators of Rome weren't born into glory. They were shaped by pain, discipline, and the roar of the crowd. The question is, if you stood in the Colosseum, would you have walked out alive?